I remember distinctively, I was like 12, 13 years old, 14 maybe, where me and my mom had a big fight, and my stepdad came in, and I don't know why he said it, but it's just like something that stuck with me. He was like, well, Becca, when you feel a certain type of way, if you're angry, if you're happy, if you're sad, you play the guitar, and that's your way of coping with it. But not everyone has that.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Guitarwavers podcast episode. I had the huge honor to talk to Rebecca Mardal, who, if you don't know, makes music that is quite literally playing underneath movies and TV series, underneath the parts where it's more calm and reflective and emotional. Rebecca is a guitarist and producer from Sweden, and with her calm and cinematic music, she has reached over 150,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, but not by chasing trends, but rather by building her very own world. You might have seen her latest viral series where she says, I don't know if you thought about this, but song XYZ actually sounds like it was written for guitar, and then she crushes the cover with her ingenious playing style. She's also signed to Epidemic Sound. She's currently undertaking a mentorship with Johnny Marr, and her and I actually came up together with the word guitarwave. In the Guitarwavers community this month, we've been focusing on how to grow an audience authentically. And Rebecca is the living proof that with calm instrumental guitar music, you can reach a lot of people. So in this episode, we talked about how she found her very own voice and what is the actual driving force for her to keep making music, putting out content, even though she is, as so many of us are, a quite sensitive person. Now, without any further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm very excited to have you on the first episode of Guitarwavers because of several reasons. And this is going to be probably a little bit uncomfortable for you.
Oh.
So I'm sorry in advance.
Yep.
The first reason is that it's just a huge honor.
Okay.
Because you've been one of my first role models in the instrumental space. I've never thought about becoming an instrumental artist, and you've been one of the first people I saw online doing it in such a cool and genuine way that I was like, oh, this is cool. And I never had this before, so
That's actually really insane to hear. I'm going to practice taking compliments and not feel uncomfortable, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool to hear, Sebastian. That means a lot to me. It's like,
yes,
yeah.
I guess that's also why I'm a bit nervous right now, because this is funny that I'm now in a position where we can just chat and nerd out and just hang out, where 2 years back me would shit my pants. But it's also, you've been doing quite well in terms of making music, with releasing with Epidemic Sound, with having songs on TV on So Mycket Better.
Yeah, I've been lucky.
Since then, several others.
Yep.
It's like was that the starting, and then other series?
No, the first one was like Swedish Survivor. That was a few years ago. Like the first time I actually heard it, like the first time I actually sat down and watched TV and one of my songs came on. But the thing with Epidemic Sound, it doesn't tell you whenever someone uses your song and what they're using it for.
Yeah.
It's like, it's been a few times since then I've been lucky enough to actually catch it. Like
to catch it.
Last week we're just getting ready in the morning, watching something, and it's like that's my song. It's like that, but most of the time it's on like social media when you're scrolling through like TikTok and there's an ad It's like this morning, it was
Oh,
Nivea. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. It's like the
yeah,
body
yeah,
lotion brand.
yes, the
It's like,
blue.
shit, that's
Yeah,
my song.
that's great. Wow. Okay.
And it's been like weird, like Amazon, like in Chicago, some NFL team Vans. That was super cool as an old punk
That's
rocker,
sick.
you know?
Yeah.
But they don't tell you, so you never know. But it's such a cool
So
feeling when
you
you're
basically
just
just have to fish for it and
hope to
and
catch
then
it.
maybe people. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so that sums up how good everything has been developing for you quite well, right? And then I feel like you've been always the artist I was seeing that had so many collaborations and streams and followers and such an active community. So I was always like, okay, she's just like a few steps ahead and has everything figured out. So I feel like it's very cool for that reason to now be able to talk to you and pick your brain about some pressing, urgent questions.
Yes, I have everything
How?
figured out, Sebastian.
So yeah,
Please
that's
ask
awesome
me.
to hear. Looking forward for your wisdom and basically telling me how the world spins. So that's one of the things, and then the other thing is that this is the first episode, and I'm very nervous and excited for this because I've been thinking about doing my own podcast for a long while now, and this feels so natural to interview fellow instrumental guitar artists and learn basically together, also in the context of the community, which I will talk about more in a second what that is and stuff.
I'm super excited for
But
you. I think you're gonna nail this. Like your way of speaking and your voice, it's super calming and very nice to listen to.
no, you're not supposed to make me
Okay,
uncomfortable.
sorry. Sorry.
No compliments begged. This is
Take it,
wasn't
Sebastian.
prepared.
Practice. Okay, never mind then. Forget I said
No, it's.
anything.
I guess that's fair. Thank you. I'm honestly just very happy to have the first episode with you because you're one of the most empathic people I've ever met.
That's very nice.
And I feel
Thank
like
you.
you are so synchronized to what I'm feeling. You're so listening. It's crazy. So I'm just very happy to do the first episode with you and get to be so uncomfortable and nervous with someone that I feel like is just, I don't know, getting it.
Yeah. I think since the first time we spoke, it's been very evident that our view on music and creating music is very, very aligned. Where it's not just like we can talk a lot about streams and we can talk a lot about social media, but the two of us are more concerned with what music actually does in our lives. Which I find those types of discussions, I like, metrics and I like, things going well in a career and I want to share that. But those deeper conversations about like true expression and stuff that we talk about, that's where I get off, I was going to say, but that's super exciting to me.
Okay, let's try to make this conversation this as well. I feel like it automatically will be this. But on the other hand, that's the third reason why I'm excited to do this episode with you is that in the guitarwavers community, which is just a very fresh thing, right? It's this space where a few of us have already gathered and we now came up with this structure to do monthly focus topics of the topics we all are most interested in or struggle with. And this month or the last month of September, we had the focus topic of audience building and promotion strategies. So I guess everybody is kind of concerned with numbers, right?
Yeah.
As well. But in collecting all of our knowledge, and you also shared already a lot of your mindset behind it as well. I know that we will not only talk about stats in this, but also talk about the whole picture. Like, how can you not only look at streams, but I guess build a world.
Yeah.
But I don't want to describe this in too many words quite yet. So you can just maybe describe a little later how you look at it. So this is very, very awesome to have you now being quite successful in streaming terms, in number terms, right? With like 150K plus monthly listeners on Spotify, almost 50K followers on Instagram, but not only that many followers, but like the most active community I've ever seen on, like, I don't know, like it's crazy how active your audience is and how well you can engage with them and how genuine everything feels. So I feel like you're the perfect person to talk to when it comes to audience building.
I'm super grateful for that people actually engage, and yeah. Quick shout out, I guess, to the Chill fam.
Do you call them Chill fam?
Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I started doing that on my Patreon, and now people have started in the comments. Someone said last week, will this be available for the Chill fam? I was like, yes.
Oh.
So now it's officially Chill fam.
Okay, awesome. Chill fam, you're the best. Shout out.
Yes.
And then last but not least, can you... Well, I'm so excited to do the first episode with you. Can you remind me again where the name Guitarwave comes from?
That was your name. No. Is it that you don't remember that you want me to remind you? Because that was your idea. Is it like a play on synthwave and stuff like that?
I thought it was our idea.
Okay, yeah, let's say that, because it's wavy. Yeah. And isn't wave a word for something new in a way? What's synthwave? I don't know.
I actually don't know. I think synthwave just sounds cool, and it kind of describes the vibe, I guess, quite well. I feel like wave is very close to everything water related.
Yeah.
And on water, I mean, you can drown and you can swim, but you can also float.
Yeah.
And I think it's the floating term it's hinting at.
Yeah. And also ebbing and flowing, perhaps, that it's not just a static,
Yeah, exactly. That it's something floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you started the whole conversation by asking your active Chill fam, what genre is this, what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
And I think that's how the whole conversation started, in one of your active comment sections.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And you're proving my point, because you commented Guitarwave.
Yeah, well, I think it was not the first comment, but we talked a little bit about it. So I feel like through you, I got... sometimes you have these problems you don't really have top of mind, but they sit below the surface a little bit, but are nagging at you, and then sometimes says, "Oh, I have this problem too," and you suddenly, "Oh, fuck, yeah, that's I'm what is it?" Because I've been struggling with trying to define it, and also when you upload your music, trying to select the right genre, right?
Yeah. That too. I don't have Guitarwave yet on DistroKid, but we're working.
Highlight on the yes. So that's how it all started, basically. It's a very small little plant.
Yeah.
We've planted, but out of that is now the Guitarwavers community grew. Right? And now the Guitarwavers podcast.
Yeah.
So it makes total sense to do this first session with you. It's very full circle in a way.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what you're building, with the community and, with everything?
Well,
The podcast.
I have a little bit of like I'm struggling with saying I'm building something, because I feel like it's my me trying to build something together, like
Yeah.
build a community where everybody can basically do input. But I've definitely I'm very driven, I
Let me
guess.
put it this way. I'm excited to see the platform you created, and I'm very excited to see how quickly everyone is sort of giving each other input, and how much of it of a community that it is already. Because I logged on quite late, I think, and it's already like these beautiful discussions going, and yeah.
It's pretty packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sorry for everybody that is coming in now. It's kind of like, sorry, you have to read this little manuscript.
Yeah.
Or you can. At least, no, to sum it up, I think I want to build a place there where calm instrumental guitar musicians can just hang out together, learn from each other, and grow together.
Yeah.
That's it. So because I don't know how it is for you, but it feels sometimes quite lonely, and you have all these questions, and you feel like no one is really answering it in a way that makes sense for calm instrumental music.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Both from a like PR, like we spoke a lot about this month, obviously, like growing social media, and someone spoke about ads, like how do you target ads?
Yeah.
Both from that point of view, and also talk about, as I was trying to say before, like the actual emotional shit that goes on, because how do you how I think I spoke about that in the community. How do you convey what you're actually trying to say without there being any lyrics or any words? Like, how do you create that world, that space?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited too.
That's such a good question. Also leading now into promotion and audience building, like basically talking or communicating about the music you make, right? Because since we don't have lyrics, we could also just rely on the music itself, and everybody let the music interpret it how they just feel in the moment or whatever. But I feel it's just such a beautiful challenge to also communicate the feeling we as artists had in the moment.
Yeah, it's like an abstract painting in a way. Like everyone's with our music, it's open for interpretation, and maybe like a title for the painting or the song gives us a better idea, but it's open for interpretation. But for me anyway, as soon as someone's like telling a story, it's like, oh yeah, shit, it just gives it so much more depth, But I also like looking at it as an abstract. I think it's important to me because our type of music has become, unfortunately, synonymous with playlist music. And there's so much discussion right now with, AI, or people who just like, epidemic has been in the talks about that. People who just like spit out songs with the purpose of it ending up on a playlist. And for me, it's really important to like separate myself from, I'm not making music so that it can be on a playlist for like meditative guitar. I'm making music because I need to, I felt like I went on a tangent there, but
no, that's actually kind of almost getting perfectly into the first kind of real question I wanted to ask you, because you talk about that need to make music. It's that is your intrinsical driving force, I guess. Because I was wondering what it is that drives you. Because to give like a little context of my thinking, I was really interested in asking you this. I've seen a lot that instrumental artists, especially calm instrumental music artists, often are very sensitive as well.
Probably.
I find,
Yeah.
in my experience. And then also at the same time, we live in a world where, as an artist, you just have to put out yourself and put out your creative work into the world constantly.
Yeah.
And so it's at the mercy of some random people on the internet constantly.
Yeah.
So your heart's work is out there in the open. So how I like to think about it is like we are these fragile, beautiful little
Yes.
beings out in the storm.
Yeah. Controlled
the
by
whole time.
an algorithm.
Exactly. And you've been doing so well. And I don't feel like you're just hanging on with one root on a cliff and it's very stormy. You're just very rooted. Like you have your high streams, you have the cooperation with Epidemic Sound, you have so many collaborations, you have such a crazy good social media short form content game and active chill fam. So it's like you're just very rooted and very solid in the storm. And I was wondering why, what do I need to know to understand how you got there?
Consistency, I think, because as we touched upon before, if it's just you don't need to post on social media, you don't need to release music, but you do need to play music, because I see so many people giving up. It's like they're trying to grow their social media, they're trying to get streams or whatever, and it's like, no, it's not working, and then they give up. I've never understood that. Or even with music, it's like, yeah, I tried doing the music thing, but it didn't work. What the fuck are you on about? How can you give up on music? Like, I understand, trust me, I understand social media burnout. We talk a lot about that, where there's periods where I don't want a message, I don't want a comment, I just want to be isolated, I don't want to post anything, I just want to be with myself and my music. But I think what I'm trying to say is like consistency. Do you want people to listen to your music? Unfortunately, you gotta post and you gotta make music, and you gotta I don't know. But again, I do want to point out that I understand social media burnout, but it hasn't always been as I think you're using very big words to describe me, but if we had this discussion 5 years ago, you wouldn't say that I was rooted in a storm. You would say you're a leaf and you're fragile. And what are you doing? And I'd say, I don't know, Sebastian. I'm just trying shit out to see what sticks. I still don't know what I'm doing. And I still feel very anxious about posting. Very anxious. I still feel very anxious about releasing music. I feel very anxious about putting myself out there. What I don't feel anxious about is making the music. I think that's maybe the route that you're talking about.
You've never felt anxious to make music?
No, how could you? It's only you and the music. No one has to listen. It's just for me. It's just I usually say I play to stop overthinking. I remember distinctively where I was like 12, 13 years old, 14 maybe, where me and my mom had a big fight. I can't remember what or why. And my stepdad came in, and I don't know why he said it, but it's just like something that stuck with me. And I was like 13, 14. He was like, well, Becca, when you feel a certain type of way, if you're angry, if you're happy, if you're sad, you play the guitar, and that's your way of coping with it. But not everyone has that. So it's like, it's always been a coping mechanism in a way, which is stupid. I should meditate more, and I should go to the gym more often, and I should go see a therapist and talk about my feelings. But I play guitar.
I think your chill fam would be very sad.
If I went to see a therapist, probably, yeah.
That would probably reduce your output.
Yes. Yes.
So you can see it both ways, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Please don't get your life sorted out.
If you want to be successful,
Be miserable.
just fucking stick with the problems.
Yeah.
The more problems, the better.
Yeah. But to get back to your question, like, how do you get rooted? I genuinely think it's about consistency, because it's not going to happen overnight. And if it happens overnight, like, if we're just going to talk about, not talk about feelings and why we play, just going to talk about metrics.
Yeah.
People who go viral, or people who have a one hit and then they have nothing left in the bank, it doesn't work. It never works out. Like, you've got to play the long game.
Yeah. Okay, so I asked you if you ever felt anxious about making music, and you said no, which is incredible. Because for me, it's definitely very different.
But what about it makes you anxious? I'm curious.
It just has to do with early trauma around music.
Okay.
So I got hurt by something that was related to my music career, and people basically taking advantage of me,
right,
being naive. So I couldn't answer the question with such a strong yes. I would say no. But I've always been anxious about making the music.
Does your anxiety lie in the actual process of making it, or rather putting it out? Like, where does the anxiety lie?
Well, for me, it translated into perfectionism.
Right.
Very heavy perfectionism.
Right.
So I would still make music, but I would work on a song for a year and have like iteration after iteration. So I never even got to a stage where I could think about, okay, now I can put it out.
Yeah.
But then when it got to the stage of putting it out, the anxiety of what people would think, because I was sitting with this music for such a long time, was enormous. It was like way out of proportion. So yeah, it's cool to hear from you that this has been like your go-to mechanism, basically, that your trusty. Well, I definitely can relate to dealing with emotions with music. I can definitely feel that, and also kind of the notion of using sometimes these songs as a journal, right?
Yeah.
To basically preserve certain memories or moments.
Yeah.
But then the other question is, have you been always... so you've probably always been anxious around releasing the music. Yeah. Has that level of anxiousness changed?
Yeah, because I've released so much music now. But like, I was the same as you before I released my first song. But then it was like floodgates open. I realized it's not that bad. But I do. I get what you mean with like the pressure of what other people will think. I feel that a lot, and it changes. I had a conversation quite recently about like free expression, and how that's not fair to say, it was more of a monologue, and I'm very sorry about that. But like about like the red, the curse of the red light. As soon as you're hitting record, or as soon as I'm like in a music store trying a guitar, it's like my self-expression just shrinks, and I can't. I work a lot with that, like trying to be trying to express myself in my true and honest way, without any filters, without any thoughts, without any anxiety, when there's other people around, whether that's when recording, or if it's playing live, or in a music, whatever it is. So I do relate to it. How? Therapy, probably, Sebastian, but you told me not to go there.
No, don't go to therapy. What else? No, because you said you try to train that, or learn that.
I pretend that it's the last time I'm ever going to play. Because you know when you have that, just sit and you're trying to get the one take right.
Just make the pressure more.
What? Isn't that's fair, right? If you're trying to get
No, that's
your
fair,
true
yeah.
expression. We sit there and you do take after take after take, and you're so focused on like getting it right. I feel like that for me anyway, it takes away all the feelings in my playing, and especially if there's like a recording a technician in the room or someone else in the room, and you're playing this like guitar part, and it needs to be very emotional, and I need to be able to express myself, and it's just like my whole body's stiff and I can't relax. It's like, okay, one deep breath, pretend it's the last time I'll ever get to touch the strings, and just like fucking make it sing. Express yourself. Have you seen that clip where it's like Bruce Lee teaching someone, and he's like, don't think, feel. I try to think about that a lot.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's a good tip. It sounds like so obvious in a way, right?
Yeah, but it's hard.
And so annoying.
Okay.
Like, it's like, not saying, oh, that's an annoying tip. It's just like, it's like, duh, I know that's what I'm trying to achieve here, right? But I guess by trying so hard,
we fail.
That's a lot. That you would categorize that as thinking, and not feeling. Yeah,
I've also been very like interested in the beat generation when I was in my 20s, like Jack Kerouac and all, all those writers who were very inspired by free jazz, where it's like it needs to be in the moment stream of consciousness. Like it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, if it's the right note or the wrong note. It's in the moment.
What is the movement called?
The beat generation. So they were a bunch of writers.
Beat?
Yeah. Like
beat generation.
A bunch of writers and poets who were all about stream of consciousness type of writing. So it doesn't matter if it makes sense. Like there's this book, Naked Lunch by William Burroughs. It's all like it doesn't have to make perfect sense, but it needs to express what you're feeling in that exact moment. The same with like free jazz, how free jazz developed. It came from quite strict. You have this chord, so you can use these notes. End of story. Yep. And then it developed into, fuck that, play what you feel in this very moment. I've been very inspired by that type of thinking. I love it.
It's so cool to learn that from you, and that probably means that you've learned that somewhere. Or how did you hear about that?
I read On the Road by Jack Kerouac, and then I did my dissertation on how, what I just talked about, how in humans, in our search for more creative freedom, it will often lead to chaos. Like going from impressionism in art to like Jackson Pollock, where it's like, okay, this is true expression. It's just paint, and you can, it's what's happening now. But if you look at it, it's just what is this? It's chaos. And if you listen to free jazz, it's like, what are you doing? It's chaos. But I think it comes from that, just being really interested in. I got really into that book and all of his other books. And it's also a search for myself to find my true expression. It's so pretentious, all of this. And I'm sorry, but it's super interesting to me.
No. I find it very interesting as well, because I feel like you put words to something I've been trying subconsciously to do. So I've been trying to, with my tracks, only record what comes in the moment and respect that over any retake.
Yes, Sebastian.
And that means that most of my sessions after recording end up sounding messy AF.
But maybe more full of life.
Well, definitely. And it's sometimes it feels like this cannot be right.
Yeah.
This is wrong. And I always have this moment in my process with every song, or almost every song, that I think this is complete shit. This is sounding so bad. It's sounding messy. It's sounding like weird things put together. It doesn't fit. And then what I do next is I tidy it up in the post-production. And then I realize, this can be this, and this can be this, and suddenly, so I guess in a way, I in creating the music am very beat generationist.
Yeah.
But then I tidy it up afterwards.
Yeah, we need to do that to not end up in complete chaos as well. There needs to be
So you do that as well.
Yeah, we can't just go all in free jazz. Let's be real.
Yeah, I guess that's too egoistic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, in a way. I'm still too shook by my own experience in starting to releasing music to just let you go with saying, oh, you just have to start releasing and you just have to be consistent, and if you stop too early, you haven't really tried, because I feel like there must have been something that pushed you over the edge.
In what way?
Like what to start releasing? Like, what was your first song? Why did you jump into the very cold water? Because the first jump is
the scariest.
So tough, I guess.
I was sort of living out my car in a way, slept in it. I didn't have an apartment. I rented a studio part-time, so I had access to it, most evenings, but also here and there. So it's just that, constantly being in the, not constantly, but, being the place where I lived was literally a music studio. That helped a lot because that was my only focus. But I was the same as you. It took me time to get there. But I think it was also like, okay, I don't have a band at the moment. I don't write lyrics, but I do want to get my music out there, and I want, maybe someone will connect with it. Hopefully they will. I want to share what I feel. It was called I'm Not Lost, I'm Free. I just wanted to maybe find people who connected with it. I don't know. Why do we want to, why are we so egotistical that we want others to see our art? Why has it, like, why do we want, like the, the cave, the handprints in the caves from like thousands and thousands of years ago. Like, what, because most people who do art in some way want other people to see it. Why is that? Maybe it's like the human need for connection. Do you see me the way I see myself? Like our innermost. Does that make sense? Like for a poet or someone who writes lyrics, for us, it's like this type of music. This is our way of expressing ourselves in a way which we might not be able to do in regular conversations, because it might never get that deep, or we might have other, like, social anxiety and other things stopping us. I don't know, maybe it's a need for connection.
Yeah, totally. And I think what you said last really hit home for me, like, because there is no way to say this in any other way, right?
Yeah,
sometimes it's hard to say how you feel, or it's hard to write how you feel, or it's hard to draw how you feel.
Yeah.
And then music really lends itself very nicely in a way. So, okay.
Music is the way.
Music is the way.
It feels like I've been more like I've tried to be very deep and not like touched on this month's guitarwavers.
Oh, we will still
topic.
Let's get there now, shall we?
Okay. Yeah, I feel bad.
No worries. I think this is very important to understand, because the numbers are only the surface, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that much of the surface, and then there's the whole ocean, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like it makes sense to start building up, and then maybe we end with the result, right?
Yeah. Something that helped me that you talked about is looking at it as a journal and also thinking, why do I do this? Why do I want to post? Why do I want to do it? If the answer is anything other than I do this for myself or I do this to connect with people, then maybe you know, it's bound to fail.
Mm-hmm.
But that helped me seeing it as a journal. And if other people want to take part of my innermost thoughts, then that's beautiful and let's connect.
So
But I think that helps in doing it for the long run.
totally,
Because I was very harsh before when I was like, why are you giving up, you idiot? Do you want this or not? That's not what I meant.
No, I know how you meant it, because when you've done it for a long time, you realize how long it takes, right, to get to a certain point. Do you know this concept?
And how much shit you
have
need to throw at the walls.
go through, and how much failure and nothingness, like nothing is happeningness, you have to go through. And so for me, this really explains very well how you could grow so well in a stormy surrounding. So you just had a very strong inner urge to connect, and that's just a very good and very sustainable driver, I guess, right? So the question is, how sustainable is your why you're doing this? Is it?
I think you need to have that point of view, because I find that with myself as well to this day, that you post maybe you post a reel or a TikTok or whatever it is, and it might not get as many likes or as many views as you're used to, and it affects you
every time.
And that's not sustainable. No. So trying to shift the perspective from, okay, we need streams, we need numbers, we need followers and all that bullshit. Not bullshit, because it's actual people, connecting with us. So it's not bullshit. But like, rather than letting that affect us, flip the script and view it as, this is my journal entry for today. And if I look back at this in 2 years, I'll maybe find something that inspires me that I've forgotten about, or I'll see, oh, I remember that day I did blah, 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 blah. Do you get what I mean? Like, do it for yourself and the people who actually connect with you, and don't get stuck up on the numbers, because it sucks, that feeling of like anxiety. And you feel like, and I also feel like, oh, you can't take time of posting because the algorithm will punish you for it if you don't post consistently. And there's so much stress involved in that way of thinking. Sucks. Oh.
No, yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
So I was,
because you do that so beautifully. Like, it's like you share little, it's like this is what Sebastian did today. These are his thoughts for today. Like, recently you've released, I'm not sure if it's released yet, but a song for your fiance's grandma, Erica.
Yeah, it came out
and
on Friday.
Nice. And it's like, whatever what you've posted about that has really been, oh wow, you can connect with it, and it feels very honest, and it doesn't feel like you're chasing views or likes or streams.
That's interesting. Which specific reel are you talking about right now? Can you say?
I've seen a few, but it's where you're under a tree, and it's like,
so I'm sitting there recording.
Have you ever felt like? Yeah, I've seen a few of those, and also one where you say, have you ever felt the spirit of something within?
Talking to the camera. Yeah. It's interesting that you perceive it very honest. I'm happy you do, because I have been struggling so much with not consistency of releasing music, but consistency with content. Right? There are these low phases where you just hate the word TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
And then there are these phases where you post 8 times a day or whatever.
Yeah.
Like hitting out random content. And so I've been just really trying to shift my perspective and my mindset to a place where I can sustain consistent posting without getting fucked by it, basically, because the chances of it performing in a way that would make you happy are, like, I would say, like 1% to 99% not performing the way. And even if it does perform, that only means that the next not performing video will hit even harder. So it's like a, you can not really win situation if you have that mindset, right? So,
and even when you grow, like the numbers, I think that makes me feel
the context,
now,
right?
Would have made me
make me super happy. Yes. The reel
made me happy 2 years ago.
The reel we posted today, the shared reel, I was stoked. But if you see it in the context of your other reels, it's like a low performer, I guess. So I was thinking about that actually. But
which is why your point is so important.
Yeah, the question is then how, right? And I've been trying to, and the guitarwavers community helped me a lot with that, is trying to tackle this issue very consciously. Basically, before it was subconscious nagging at me and not being fun. So I just skipped out for a few months, or it felt like a few months. It was probably just 2 weeks, but it feels like such a long time. How can you dare to leave social media for so long? And now I've been trying to really think about, okay, how can I actually make this objectively better? And so I started to use my For You page on TikTok, or when I'm on Instagram, on Instagram not that much, but on TikTok, to get inspiration for how other artists are promoting their music and saving the ones that do really well, where I could see myself adapting that format.
Yeah, that's super smart.
I don't know, do you do that?
I used to, but now, I guess in a way I do that. And something that I like, we've had this discussion about, being honest, and it needs to come music first and blah, blah, blah. So this is going to feel very like two-faced of me. But I also, you find something that works. Like, I don't know if you thought about this, but blah, blah, blah sounds like it was written.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that anyway.
That format. That's a hook.
That's a hook.
That's very deliberate.
Yes. That's
to get people to actually stop.
Very psychological, right?
Yes.
Very analytical.
It's not very, artsy or honest.
Out of the moment.
That's a hook.
A creative mess.
No. Like, we've spoken about true expression and all that. And I was like, you need hooks to get people to stop scrolling. Yeah. Or like find things that you do, find things on your For You page that, I could do that. And it might turn, it makes someone stop scrolling and give you a few likes and make people listen.
Can you tell us how much of a difference it made for you to realize, I need a hook? And then finding that hook for you that works for you very well, and now executing on that hook just over and over, basically.
I've gotten so many new followers.
Where were you before, and where are you now? What did it change?
It might be like 20,000 on Instagram and like 10 or 15 on TikTok. So it feels, again, a bit fake of me sitting here and being like, we need to talk about true expression and art, where it's like, this is a very deliberate hook, which I've gotten from, scrolling your For You page. And it's like tips for musicians who are also content creators. Try it with a hook. But it's not the first one I tried. I've tried several, and I've tried, as you say, you see something that works for someone else and you try it and it just flops.
Yes.
But that's something that really worked for me. So I've tried sticking with it.
Okay, several directions we could go from here. First of all, I want to say, I think it's completely fine that we get into shallower waters now. We established that there is like a deep sea.
That we are deep.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a deep sea.
Yeah.
And it's good to have a deep sea because that makes everything more stable.
Yeah.
But now, how do we get to the surface? How do we see, how do we get to the stage where we can explain the numbers you're getting on social media and on streaming services? So it's totally fair to kind of have to bridge that gap. So I think it can be both, right? It's not like a either or. And now suddenly you're saying, but 10 minutes ago. I think it's just a different game, right? It's like first you just focus on the music and you make the music for whatever reason you want to make the music. But if it's a reason that is very focused for you, then that's good, I guess. And then the next step is, okay, how do I start talking about this piece of music now on social media? And on social media, there are certain rules that need to be obeyed, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, for example, short attention spans. And the way to deal with that is finding hooks that work. And that goes really well with what I was trying to get at when I asked you what reel were you referring to, or what TikTok were you referring to my last release for my fiance's grandma. And the reel you were referring to was one which I very analytically crafted the hook.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's very interesting now. That's why I'm happy to hear you feel it was still very genuine. And I feel the same way, by the way, about I don't know if you have ever thought about, but song XYZ sounds like it was written actually for guitar, or how you say it, right?
Yeah, this sounds like it was written for guitar.
Yeah, that format feels super genuine because you were able to adapt it in your very unique style. You play like after, I don't know if you have thought about it, then you play something already, right?
Another hook, yeah.
Like just a little show off, like something I could never do situation.
Another hook.
It's a second hook, okay. Then you use a song that people know, right?
A third hook.
A third hook. Fucking hell, I'm really trying.
But it's like, you do that so much better though, because it's like when I post about my original music, it doesn't get the same attention at all.
Now that's the interesting challenge, right? How do you find a format that works for your own music? But at the same time, I think your method is also totally valid because, or tell me, did it affect your streaming stats?
I think more people have started listening, and I think more people have become interested because they were pulled in, so to speak, in quotation marks, by a specific cover. They're like, oh, I really like this guitarist. Let me listen to some original music. But the ratio isn't looking very good, you know?
No, of course. And I mean, even though you're saying I'm way better at this, I've never really managed to find a format yet that is achieving the numbers you are achieving. So
You have some very viral videos on TikTok, though.
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago when I was starting, when I didn't release any music, and I was just starting to make content and trying to figure out how to make good content. And already back then I realized, okay, I have no idea how this works. Let me just copy what worked for others. And this suddenly blew my account to like the 15K where it is now. And since then, I've been just losing followers because I just stopped what was working. And what was working was just posting tab videos to famous songs that already existed.
Yeah.
So it's
That's such a hard balance.
It's
the same thing, right?
It's not the same thing because, but it's similar. It's the difference is that I didn't have any reason whatsoever to post tab videos because I hate tabs. I didn't know how to read tabs before. Like I had to learn how to read and how to make tabs in order to make these videos.
Yeah.
And then people were asking me, "Oh, can you do this song? Can you do this song? Can you do this song?" And I was suddenly like, "Shit, this is not fun at all. What am I doing here?"
Yeah.
All these people are coming here to get tabs from me, and I hate it. So I think there is a fine line between just copying what worked for others and having realized what is your why in the first place. Okay,
Yeah.
why am I doing this whole thing? And yeah, I don't know if you can.
That's another. Yeah, I understand what you mean, and I understand what you mean. How it's not similar because I enjoy making guitar arrangements. It makes me a better player, and it makes me a better musician. I think that touches back on what we've spoken about, the social media burnout. Because you didn't enjoy it, it was just stressful.
Yeah.
That wasn't sustainable in the long term.
I skipped. I think that I actually skipped for almost a year. Like I paused making content for almost a year because it was so unenjoyable. But with your example, it's like something you love doing because, I mean, of course, that these are all awesome songs, right? It's probably songs you really like. It's not just you going into the charts and looking, okay, what's the famous song right now? I mean, maybe you sometimes do that, but then you still
It would be smart.
But still, you would probably just pick the one that resonates with you, right? Like, for example, the cover we did together of Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I think we both separately covered, right? And so we said, okay, let's play this. I guess that was on the charts at that time, but we still liked the song, right?
Yeah.
So you're very close to what you love doing in the first place, and it translates very well into people getting your sound and your vibe.
Yeah.
And then being like, okay, let's see what she has on streaming platforms. Maybe that's something. And then you also released an EP, right? I mean, with 4 songs of these
5 songs.
Lullabies for Millennials.
No, the cover EP. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was
the covers.
Just 4 of your favorite things.
Yeah.
So let me try to give you my current formula, what makes a good hook, and you bash it. Or you you say what you think. Because I tried with my fiance, because I'm struggling so much with that. Like understanding human brains, how other people think.
Amen.
I have tried so hard to break it down as simple as possible for myself to be like, okay, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Yes, it's a hook. So first thing is it has to be fast.
Yep.
Second thing, it has to be not only fast, but also not so many words. I like to talk in very bloomy ways, and I don't like to talk fast. So these 2 things are already quite a big challenge for me. Then it has to have some sort of tension or problem.
Yeah.
Like there's a gap to the usual situation, I guess.
Yeah.
And what was the last one? I think I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know where. Did I have something else? And I think, yeah, the last one was it needs to be relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make me stop scrolling, and I have stopped scrolling for videos like that. But I thought it was just an honest thing from you, and it turns out it was.
No,
I'm kidding.
that's why I said, have you ever felt the presence of someone that has died? That is already pretty, like, not a problem, but there's a lot of tension because I'm talking about someone that has died, and it's instantly emotional and it's quickly communicated, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you turn it into me who's watching. Have you ever?
Oh, yeah.
Not I'm doing this thing.
I think that's why it's relatable, right? I'm making it.
Yeah.
That's I find like one of the biggest shifts for me that I've been trying to make is how can I make this, well, valuable is such a digital marketing bro term, but how can I make this mean something to the person that sees it, right? How can I not say, oh, here is my latest release, I really like it, and you should listen to it. Go.
Exactly.
Right?
It almost makes me not want to listen to it.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's like someone in a conversation just talking about themselves, which I've been doing in this conversation. It's like so everything you say, someone turns to themselves. It's like no one wants to be around that person.
No,
for doing that.
This is really now what we're trying. Imagine all the other guitar wavers and possibly future guitar wavers sitting all here and being like, please tell us more about you. But
okay, that's a good thing then. But in regular conversation, you don't want to be that person who's like
exactly,
taking over.
No, I exactly. And yeah, so with this video I tried to do that, but still it didn't perform like well. I'm still like it's just always between 200 and 1,000 views, I guess, on TikTok, right? And
which is great for anyone who's got like 5 followers and is just starting out, though.
I guess, yeah.
Come on, man.
No. I guess that's true, and you're really right. It's so hard to not let your context grow with your growth, right?
Yeah.
The thing you're referring to in your mind is always getting bigger with the more numbers you collect. Okay, but now we talked about the importance of hooks and how it's important to invite, how to make it easy for people to be invited into your world, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Such a weird thing, because I see a lot of posts where it's like, oh, imagine freaking Ella Fitzgerald or David Bowie having to write hooks.
Yeah.
But what did they do? They told a story, especially with David Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
They had a presence. He was like very androgynous for a period, and he, just pulled people into his universe because people connect with it. So we need to adapt to the modern age, but also keep that in mind. This is me. How can I make you connect with it without making it all by myself, about myself? Mm-hmm. Like, how can you, I want you to, because as we spoke about, why do we release music? Because we're looking for a connection, for human connection, someone to connect with it. So how can we do hooks and, all that, I was going to say bullshit. How can we do that in an honest way without feeling stressed out? How can we write a hook that you did so cleverly? Like, have you ever felt the presence of someone who's not with us anymore? I was like, wow, yes, tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
That feels honest. And it hopefully doesn't stress you out as much as here are the tabs for this song that I hate.
Not at all.
But you requested.
Yeah, not at all. No, and I'm really happy having this framework now going forward, because I really like these just talking into the camera videos. But usually I would just start rambling on, right? And then at some point I would stop recording, and then I would cut out all the long pauses and upload it. And I realized again and again that this is not the way, because the hook just was missing. And so this will be something I will experiment with in the future. What is something you sound so now that you have found a hook that is working so well for you? What's the next thing you will experiment with?
I don't know. We did for Epidemic Sound. We just did some content recording, like some live video performances out in the woods and
I saw that.
Yeah,
I loved that so much.
Yeah, it was a really cool idea from the photographer. Shout out to Samuel Rock. But how do you? I think that's my struggle. How do you like? The covers are great, and I'm very proud of my handiwork, my craftsman. Like, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my arrangements, but I also want to show people my music. Like, how do we convert those followers into listeners? I guess that's my. And how do I explain myself? How, as we talked about before, how do I make people how do we as guitarwavers make our music more than just playlist background music?
Yeah, you wrote about that in the community, right? You said that this is something that you are focusing on, how to show yourself even more now in the face of AI and in general,
Ghost producers.
Our music being tagged as background music or playlist music, right? So I think I think very similar. It's very important to show your humanness, but then again, how do you do that? So my question would be, how can someone that is starting out and they maybe found their own why and have a very strong drive to make music and are starting also to release music and then thinking about making content. So now they know, okay, hooks are something I need to think about. But what would you say, how do you open this David Bowie world? Like, how do you build a world around what you're doing? Like, what comes after the hook, I guess?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, I think that's what interests me. I see like these tips on, like, if you're still working in your daytime job, like for artists, maybe that doesn't apply to us as much. Like, record yourself working your daytime job and say, oh, this is my dream. I've seen some of those tips, but I think maybe what's more important is, for me anyway, like, what story are you telling with this instrumental music? What is it, like your recent song for Erica? Okay, it's about your fiance's grandma who's now passed away. That gives it so much more depth, because it's like I was saying, an abstract painting. It's really cool. It looks cool. I like the colors. It's nice. The title will give me some clue what it's about. But if the artist were to tell me, yeah, I actually painted this after losing my wife in a fire and my dog also died.
It's different.
And you go, wow, okay, yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of red in there. Do you get I'm sorry for joking about that, but do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like emotionally connect, get people to emotionally connect with what your emotions were making it, if that makes sense. At least for me, that gives it, as I was saying with your song, it's like, shit, okay, Erica, I wonder what type of person she was and what connection you guys had. And I draw parallels between her and my grandma and start thinking about her. Do you get what I mean? It's like you connect.
I think that's such a good point. Because we tend to overcomplicate stuff.
Yeah.
And hunt for like these systematical answers, like this system for a hook. I mean, for a hook, I guess it's okay to have a system. in my opinion. But for what to talk about, what world are you creating? I mean, of course, you could also, I guess, create a completely fictional world, right? And just say this is a fictional character, and it's living on a castle on top of a hill, and blah blah blah. But the easiest is probably to be very honest.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because that makes it relatable and yeah, and real in a way. I think that's a really good tip. And you cannot hear that enough, to be honest. Also for me, I think when you try to figure out social media, you're really tempted to just experiment with different formats and different takes on it. And that's also a reason why when something doesn't work, you can feel very bad, I find, especially when you were not honest.
Yeah.
Right? When you realize, okay, I just did this for the views and it doesn't work and I feel shit.
Embarrassed about yourself.
Yeah, embarrassed about yourself. If you are honest, I think it doesn't hit as bad.
Yeah.
It's like, at least I told the truth.
Because at least you did it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think when we talk about how can we make social media less harsh, I think it's good to just talk about who you are, because that gives you some sort of stability in a way. And then what I found was also to the notion of, oh, but you're using a hook to trick people into listening to your music. That's so ungenuine. What I realized is that every social media platform has their own formats already established. And it's not so many different formats. It's like really simple, actually. It's like 3 to 5 different formats. And when you look at what works for other people, you can really say, okay, this is just a typical talking to the camera, FaceTime kind of conversation. This is just a voiceover video. This is a performance video. I don't know, right? So people are used to these formats, and I think the more creative you get with your formats, the harder it is for people to connect to what you're trying to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm trying to be less creative with the format and be more focused on using a packaging basically that already works on the platform, and then just put my story in there.
That's very sensible, I think.
And I think what you did with your, I don't know if you thought about this, is just exactly that. Yeah, it's just a talking to the camera video, and then a little bit, and then performing. Right? It's like 2 formats we all know already really well, so it's easy to consume, I guess.
Yeah, I think you hit the head on the nail. I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I was realizing
do what works, but be honest.
I was monologuing a little bit. I'm sorry. And
I've been monologuing for the past hour, so it's about time.
Just gave you a little break.
Nice.
Is there anything we haven't talked about in terms of making audience building and promoting your own music? What else has worked for you very well, I guess, that we haven't talked about?
Something that I saw someone else post about that I used before but don't do anymore is ads and ads to playlists. So I did ads to grow my lo-fi guitar playlists, it now has like 12,000 likes and followers. So whenever I release music, I put that on there, and that gives me a few free streams. But you know, if you're just chasing streams, that's great. And a few people, maybe some people would discover your music through that playlist. So that's a good idea for someone who's like trying to build their first audience. But again, I haven't done that in years. So there's probably a lot of updates in that area. And also we were trying to get away from the whole playlist thing, but that's just something I've done to build streams.
What would you say, what role does epidemic sounds play in your world?
It pays my rent, and it puts food on my table, and I'm super duper grateful for that. But there's been this discussion about some companies who like have this special connection with Spotify, and I've heard personally stories about that being true. It's like, you know, you make music and you make it under this different name that's not yours, and you just shit out music for Spotify playlists, and they'll be like, yeah, and we'll add it. But fortunately, Epidemic Sound isn't like that. And that's why they're very like, if you start working for them, they want you to have a social media presence so that people can actually see that, okay, this is a real person, who loves making music, rather than some other companies who are like, yeah, well, and we'll create an artist name for you, and you'll just write music for us, and we'll share the royalties. Which starting at that starting point, it already said, okay, so we know there's going to be streams because we split the streaming royalties. But for Epidemic Sound, they buy the songs, which, you know, there's a discussion to have about that because I don't own the masters. But then again, I make music and I pay my grocers with the money from that. So
because you
know, but there's no, your question was how does that play in? They don't have any special, I don't get more streams because of Epidemic Sound. Maybe because people, I see that my Shazams have gone up. Maybe people hear the music on TV or, you know, in ads, possibly.
On
but there's no
streaming platforms, right? Situations,
And sometimes they'll pay for like the content that I made with the live performance. Like, let's do to show you as a producer, which is great. But there's no like, since I started Epidemic Sound, I get all these editorial playlists, and my streams have gone up. They have gone up because I release so much more music now. So it adds up.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. I thought they probably have some sort of big playlists as well.
They do, but not big. I have bigger playlists than them.
Mic drop.
You know.
Okay, awesome. Good for you.
Sorry.
No,
they don't. They really don't. You know.
And do you release like every song you release on your profile? Is that with Epidemic Sound? No, right?
No, not at all. But most of it, yeah. And I think there are producers who work for Epidemic Sound who do shit out songs, and they do it because it pays the rent. But for me, it's always been very important that the music I make for them is honest.
So
and not just, you know.
Just to understand the system, there's a fixed price for every song, and the more songs you release with them, the more fixed price packages you get, basically.
The more money you get, but you always you can't just like, okay, let me do 10 songs this month. I don't do that anyway.
No.
Maybe some people do. I don't know.
Yeah, but then also the question is why, right? What's your why really?
Yeah.
And how sustainable is that? How did you?
For me, it's just simple. Like, I've got this label who package everything. I get help with artwork, and you know,
oh, nice.
It's like a music label for me.
Yeah,
it's like Sky Valley.
What Sky Valley is for
label.
me. Yeah, because they have been such a major support for me. Shout out to Nat.
Shout out.
Whoop. For making my life so much more fun. How did you get in contact with Epidemic Sound?
I Googled music libraries, and they were the first that came up. And then I sent in my music. I wanted to work with music, Sebastian. So how can I get paid to write and make music? Okay, I could try sync libraries. That's cool. So I just Googled sync libraries. Epidemic Sound was the first thing that came up. I sent them my songs, had a meeting with them, and then I started releasing music with them.
Okay, well, that's freaking smooth. What did you send them? Did you send them like 5 tracks and a little bit of an explanation who you are, or?
Yeah, I think just maybe 2 or 3 tracks that I had previously released and maybe a demo so that they could get a sense of what type of music I made and to what quality as well.
Mhm.
But something about Epidemic Sound, it's made me grow as a producer because every track, it's not just that they'll accept every track as is. You send it and then you get some feedback. Like I've gotten feedback at, okay, try like parallel compressing this or try like an adaptive, like shit that I
Like,
didn't know about that I probably should have
is
known
this?
about.
No. I think there's so many crazy techniques, right? When it comes to producing, it can be very fun, I guess. It's like almost playing, like building these little machines, right? So this is connected to this, and then this is connected to this, and then it makes this movement because of that and whatever. So it's, I guess you can just get very creative with it, but it's not necessary. I think the best example I know of is Phineas, the brother of Billie Eilish. When you see his sessions, you're like, oh my God, he's using like Logic stock things. There are just 10 layers and it's just a world hit, right? So, and that really shows you how important these production techniques are. But it's still very good to get the feedback and to learn that way. So that's really cool that they help you. Because I remember when we first met in the guitar store in Stockholm, you were telling me that you were trying to get better at producing because you were so shit at it. And then I was listening to your productions and I was like, are you talking about that? Because that sounds, I don't know how I could make that sound as good as it sounds.
That's very kind of you because you're a sound technician and a producer before you're a guitarist, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that means a lot to hear.
No, for sure. It's like I could definitely see why Epidemic Sounds were like, yeah, come.
That you know what? I struggle so much with like not being when I said before, like just play the guitar and release music. When it comes to production, my confidence is 6 feet under, because I don't know these basic things that I think people who actually listened in university and in school know, like parallel compression, and like I have to fucking YouTube it like an idiot.
No,
idiot,
like you're just your classic producer, like
dynamic EQ. What's that?
It's like this,
and it's like basic for someone else. Yeah. It's like but it's cool, as you say, when you don't know stuff, and I guess you're the same with your approach to guitar. When you don't know the basic, in quotation marks, stuff, it allows you to explore things more freely.
Yes, it gives you more freedom. For sure.
Yeah. You're not bound by rules.
Do they help you with mixing and mastering?
I did mastering, yes. Mixing, I did all my own mixing up until this year, I think. Mm-hmm. So now someone else does the mixing who wanted to work with that type of music. So it's like a collaborative thing.
Okay. I guess that's one more thing that is off of your tallriken.
Off my plate.
Tallrik.
Off my tallrik.
Tallrik.
which is, it's both nice because it's off my plate, but it's also, I liked being in that process and learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned a lot from her, so it's all good.
Oh, good. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot now. We've talked for a long time now. I'm very thankful.
If you're still listening, shout out.
Yeah, crazy. the true people, or maybe the people that just are as also nerds as we are, and that would be so awesome. I wanted to give like a little promotion to the Guitarwavers community and say, like, everybody who is trying to become a calm electric or acoustic guitar instrumental artist, or is already one and is feeling lonely, or is trying to get this thing feel more easily. I'm not saying this very well. Is very invited, warmly invited to just join. It's free, and everybody is very happily welcomed.
Yeah.
If you can say it that way.
I was so surprised by that when I first joined, that everyone is so kind and giving so freely the tips and tricks.
Mm-hmm.
So I second that. Come join.
It's cool how much this has started to take a life of its own, I guess. And I'm planning to do so much more with it. Like the podcast is the next thing, I guess. But now, after this recording, we have the monthly topic call recording or call, where we will collect all the knowledge we collected during the months regarding audience building and promotion strategies. And then there will be Martin from Chasing Reverbs doing a deep dive on meta ads, and this will be recorded. So I think every month we will just pick the topic that is the most pressing for everybody, and then try to do like a mastermind situation where everybody gives their take on it, and then we'll summarize it at the end of the month and record it. And so this library of the most important topics as a guitar waver or instrumental artist are stored there, and you can just go there and check it out and learn from it. That's the goal.
Yes.
That's the vision.
Nice.
Is there something else you are burning to talk about, or what are you currently working on, or what's a future project you would love to do, but it feels a little bit out of reach still, or what are you excited about?
Something I'm working on is playing more acoustic guitar.
Oh,
so that's something.
Like nylon, classical.
That classical, but mostly steel string guitar.
Yeah,
I always shied away from that. But I'm gonna name drop a bit. I've had a few like mentorship sessions with Johnny Marr where he spoke about. Where he spoke about. Look at the bit.
Saw your story. You were in a call yesterday, something, right?
Yeah. And he's spoken about, like, if you only play electric guitar, his view is that you're only half a guitar player, because there's this untapped world where I know, but not my words.
Hot take.
Yeah, because obviously when you play nylon or when you play steel string, it does force you to play a bit differently. So I've been really trying to tap into that and work on that.
And is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun, but the reason I shy away from it hurts my left hand so much.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
No, but
the grabbing hand.
Yeah, I play it normally in quotation marks. But my strumming hand is my right hand, and my, but it hurts. So yeah, need to work on that.
What I realized is how crazy, but I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, you know this probably, but I'm still going to say it. How much of a difference it makes if you get your guitar properly set up.
Yeah,
right?
it is set up. I've adjusted the action. I even, took down the what's it called? You know what I mean.
The
So
neck
it's all
nut.
set up,
I
but
don't know.
it's
Yeah. What is it called? I don't know.
saddle. No,
Saddle.
the
Yeah.
little,
Saddle.
the big,
I think it's saddle.
yeah, yeah,
What
that
sometimes
thing.
is
But it
bone.
still hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's bone, usually plastic these days, but it still hurts
But
because I have a very very low action on my electric guitar and very very soft touch.
mhm.
So when that forces me to dig in more, and it hurts.
I think it's the first few weeks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
You can do it.
I know.
Make your
Thank you.
mentor proud.
Yes,
Um,
I want to.
is there anything else from that mentorship that has make you go like bing, aha, like a
There's so much he spoke about. It's always hard to be like. There's so many things, but the thing I can think about, top of my head, is the way we spoke about songwriting and the way he approached it, which might be very interesting to the guitarwavers, is not being stuck on this part belonging to this song, but look at it as a collage where, okay, I wrote this part and it's nice, but let me take this and try it on another song and see how the
oh,
pieces fit
gives
together.
me anxiety because it's so flexible.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could do anything. You could like literally like an artist making a collage, like cutting something out of this piece of paper and then putting a feather on top of it, and
Yeah.
just like playing around with it. Like he said, he played around with the loop pedal a lot and like really tried to, yeah. So that's a thing that might interest the
Mhm.
guitar wave community in terms of being inspired in songwriting, and might give a lot of you anxiety as well.
So you're welcome. Is there what's the goal of the mentorship, if you can call it that? What are you
I don't
What
know.
are you trying to?
What are you trying to achieve?
What's the result? No,
You're very German now,
I'm no. I'm
Sebastian.
sorry. I'm taking that back. I'll cut that out.
I'm kidding. I say that with a lot of love.
No, I think I phrased it wrong. I just cannot imagine how it must be to have a mentor like this that is so far in terms of being creative with the guitar, and then trying to talk with them about what are you talking about?
It's nerve-wracking. We talk about guitar and our approach to guitar, and that's it. And I think
Guitar.
that's the point.
Guitar.
Yeah, that's the point of the mentorship: guitar and songwriting. Like just to get, and this is through Epidemic Sound
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So they really want us to be better songwriters and producers, which of course will make them more money. So it makes sense, but it's also like that's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's awesome
to
that
be
they
mentored
invest
by.
there
Yeah,
in you.
yeah. So it's just like being a better guitarist or being. There's three of us who do the mentorship program. One who writes orchestral music, like proper film music, because obviously Johnny Marr has worked a lot with Hans Zimmer. And one like just
I didn't know that.
songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just one songwriter. She plays the guitar, she writes songs. So it's like three
Different
touching points.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for me, we talk a lot about our approach to writing guitar parts and just guitar in general, like playing more acoustic guitar or stuff like that. Why do our hands hurt, and what can we do?
What would you say is his why?
I think he's just all one of those people who does it because there's nothing. What else could he do?
Mm-hmm.
He just has to. But I haven't asked him what his why is. I think he's one of those people who's like, what else is there?
Yeah, so like 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not the Smiths, then it's, his work with Hans Zimmer. It's just for the sheer passion and love of it.
Yeah.
The way he speaks I was really nervous, but he's so passionate about music and about guitar, and he's so inviting. He's like, "What do you think?" And then like when we had our Google Meet, he took up his guitar and he's like, "Because you do a lot of this when you play, don't you?" Like he sees he's passionate about guitar playing and about music. Maybe that's his why. I don't know.
Interesting. I have one last question for you, and that is from the community, because I had another from Max from the community, which I think we have answered pretty well. It was, Rebecca, if you have a moment, do you mind telling how you grew your pretty impressive Instagram following with a high engagement? I imagine there's more to it than simply a side effect of your ads. Yes, I think that's basically the whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
But then the other question that really ties in well to John Marr. Is it John Marr?
Johnny. Maybe his name is John, but Johnny Marr.
I have to admit I didn't know him before your mentorship.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I feel bad. Paul is asking, I'm impressed by her technique and phrasing. I want to know her progression of how she built her style. Specific exercises or practice ideas would be cool.
It's a tough one. Being inspired by others, because you can't, as a creative, pretend that you're a lonely island and you come up with shit all by yourself. That's impossible. You're inspired by others. Listen to people who inspire you, and then try to do what they do. But then obviously it comes to a point where you can't just copy someone as well. And I think what I do is really, and it's going to take us back to the deep end of the sea as well. Focus on your expression. What do you feel in this moment? What do you try to convey? I work a lot with the dynamics, because I don't do flashy licks. I just work with trying to express emotion.
What you say, okay.
I just want there to be emotion, and I want people, because I can't sing, I want people to feel the same way that I feel when I hear a great singer. Like Celine Dion, when she did the Olympic opening ceremony, and she sang that Edith Piaf song, and it just, when you're in the same, I was in the same room with her obviously, but when you're in the same room with a great singer, it's like it fills your chest. It becomes physical, and I want people to feel that when when they hit, which is an impossible feat maybe, but that's, how do I do that? Okay, work with dynamics, work with just fucking be in the moment and feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And so you try to not only play that what comes to you in the moment, but also play what you play more dynamically, like be more leaning in, but then pulling back.
Because that does a lot, I think. Like, you never know with Celine Dion, for example, she does it this so great. You never know the next phrase where it's going to go. Is she going to continue? Is she going to go, oh, or is she going to go, sorry, friend, it's like, is she going to go high dynamically? Is she going to go low? What's she going to do with that word? It's like, you're constantly surprised. I don't know. For me at this point, it's about taking inspiration from people that I like, but it's also when I play with one of my favorite guitarists, which is also a very close friend, Björn Wahlberg. When we sit and jam, it almost comes to a point where we try to out-feel each other. Like, when he's like, oh, he's in it, he's feeling it. Okay, then I need to be in it and I need to feel it. It's very pretentious.
No, it sounds like such a cool experience to have.
It's the best.
See,
one of the best.
It's
just try to feel.
Yeah.
Don't think.
But
feel.
But now you are at a stage where you obviously have a very good understanding of the neck. right? Like you have some
hopefully.
good theory basics, right? And
Yeah.
you got these how?
Theory from school. I studied music in, like, what's the word, high school, and upper secondary school. I
Yeah.
went from ages 13 to 15. I went to like a music school, and then from 15 to 19 or whatever it is, 16 to 19, I also went to music school, and then I studied at university. But I have studied music and music theory.
And specifically
So,
also for the guitar.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't start taking lessons until I was 16. So that's like 5 or 6 years without lessons.
So you,
But I'm not self-taught.
so you got like a solid amount of years of lessons to learn the basics, and now you can think about fine-tuning the craft.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to go to university. I'm not saying that at all.
No, yeah, it's interesting for me because I always find it so fascinating what you do and what other great guitarists do that obviously know the neck, but I don't know the neck at all. Like I have no clue what note is where. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what the notes will sound like before you play them? Or is it just about, I don't know where the note C is?
But because, I think I know what note, how it would sound like if I have been playing in that area for a while.
Yeah.
So I guess what it does, it makes the process longer of me finding what I want to play. Right, so I hear it in my head, and then I have to find, okay, it's 2 steps, then 1 step, then 2 steps, then 2 steps.
Exactly.
Okay, and then I'm practicing. So yeah.
So you're right. You need some type of foundation to get to the point where it's a free expression, where you just, the guitar neck is part. It's like speaking. And to me, it's like speaking.
What would you say for me? How can I get to where you are? Do I need to take lessons?
No.
Do maybe I just wait and see what happens?
Sing. Sing. If you're on the right track, if you're at one part of the neck, just play the pentatonic and sing the next note before playing it. And see if you can.
I think that's something I can do. But then if I'm switching keys, right?
They're still the same intervals. So as long as you got the first note down, it's still the same intervals.
I think for me, since I come from the piano, it's just, I don't see why one would make it so complicated for everybody else.
Very true. Very, very true.
But I guess I should jump over my shadow at some point.
But something that helped me is not seeing, it is a complicated instrument, but see the patterns. Like when you move from the 7th fret on the D string to the 7th fret on the G string, that interval, the 4th, is going to sound the same wherever you are. If you're in the 5th fret or the 3rd fret, not the same notes, but the interval is going to sound the same. So when you start seeing those patterns, okay, that's that jump. That's going to sound like this. Or 5th fret to 7th fret. Oh, that's a perfect 5th. That sounds like that. Because you've done some interval training, right? When you play piano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Same thing, but on the guitar, it's patterns. That's the way I see it. Anyway.
It's more like geometrical shapes, right? Than linear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh. Your video left the room. I still hear you. I think the recording is still going. I told you it was the last question, but I have one last question that came to my head while we were talking about playing, and that is, have you ever considered playing live?
Playing live?
Or you do, right?
Yeah. Started it.
But you own music?
Only one time. But I want to more.
Yeah?
Yeah. My question there is, would anyone want to fucking listen to that? Or would they just fall asleep?
I think so. No, I think
We'll
so.
see.
Have you seen concerts of Hermanos Gutierrez?
Yes, a good friend of mine brought those brothers up, and yeah,
I think people would sit down and listen to your music for sure.
that's very kind.
It's just not a Green Day concert.
Unfortunately not, no. There might be some t-shirt guns. Shoot out t-shirts into the crowd. And some confetti. Hopefully some pyrotechnics when we've got, the budget for it.
That would be so funny.
It would be fun, wouldn't it? You're like, dun.
Between the songs.
Yeah. Let me hear you go fucking crazy. And then it's like, I can't hear you.
Okay, well, on that note, do you have your guitar lying around?
Yeah.
Would you mind playing us a little out of the episode thing? So you can train playing in the moment?
Let me try to be quick about it before the right AirPod dies too.
Nice. A little Rebecca concert.
Okay, I don't know what to play. Oh, I actually just wrote this thing.
Okay. Okay, well, so it was such an amazing and wild emotional experience to have this episode recorded with you. And I'm very grateful that you spend so much time with me nerding out about guitarwavers stuff. Thank you so much.
I'm grateful that you wanted to take the time.
As I told you, it was the best combination ever.
Yes, I agree.
Have a great evening. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. And hey doll.
Hey doll. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. And if you are interested in joining the community, it's free. It's in the show notes, a link, and sending you lots of relaxed energy. Until next time, bye.